Hi, my friends. I'm Adam Pecoraro. Thank you for clicking on a Flexoraro fitness video. We've got a good one for you today. It's abs and core. I like to call this the summertime madness. And then my friend Shang said you should call it summertime abness. So that's what this is. This is the summertime abness workout. This would be a great workout for you to do maybe 2 times a week. It is enough to be its own workout. If you were to add anything to it, I would say go for a walk or maybe do a series of squats, maybe Sally squats if you know what that is, or a series of push-ups. Otherwise, it's going to be a total body experience, just emphasizing the abdominals and core recruitment with balance and stability as a primary focus. Jeez, gotta quit smoking. Just kidding. Oh, I think I swallowed a bug. On that note, let's get going. So the very first ab exercise is called a lying vacuum. And I had a friend who said, why don't you call it truthful vacuums? It's not lying like you're fitting. We're going to lie down. You can do a vacuum standing. Lying down, you're going to have this arch to your back. It's natural. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to close that arch by pulling or vacuuming our abdominal wall in. The idea is to make it tight, but to be able to breathe and to be able to talk. So what you're not doing is sucking in. You're pulling in to create the recruitment. This is a foundational movement that you should use with all of your ab exercises. So before you do a crunch, you vacuum and then crunch. Before you do a sit-up, you vacuum and then you do the sit-up. And before you do leg lifts, again, you vacuum and then go through the leg motion. So the way this works is for 1 minute, we'll vacuum, hold for the duration of 1 Mississippi, and then release, and then vacuum, hold, and release. So it's done for reps. Let's go ahead and get going. Exercise number 2 is plank shoulder tap. So we're going to go head to heel, strong as steel, and we're going to alternate the shoulder tap. You're going to try to minimize external rotation and stay as squared as you can. Shifting your weight from left to right is going to happen. It's the rotation that you want to try to prevent. Plank is an outstanding exercise for the entire abdominal slate, including the obliques. So if it becomes too much on your wrists to do the alternating tap, just hold a standard plank, head to heel, strong as steel. Or you can go to your forearms if you need to have some wrist relief. Our third exercise is long lever scissors. So what we're going to do is lift one leg while the other one's heel is off the ground, and then we'll switch, creating the scissor motion. I like to call them long lever scissors because there's other scissors where we do horizontal crossovers. That's just to differentiate. This is a lower abdominal and leg exercise emphasis. You're going to feel it in your hip flexors and your quadriceps. You're supposed to. If you feel it in your lower back, let your heel on the descending foot touch the ground. Okay, let's do it. Spear sit-up. These sit-ups are fine. The only reason I shy away from them is people tend to pull on their head and they tend to hurt their neck. So the spear motion ensures that we're using our muscles without the risk of injury to our neck. You want to vacuum, reach for about a 45-degree angle or where your ceiling and wall meet, and then paint your spine back onto the ground. How do you make it a little bit more manageable if you're having trouble sitting up? Straighten your legs. That way the weight of your legs will help you sit up. Even with that, sit-ups can be tough, so hang in there. The next exercise is a reverse crunch to leg opener. So you're going to start with just a hip rock. And if you can do that, then you're going to do a hip rock and then drive up. But imagine there's a piece of plexiglass that comes off of your chest, and you can't let your knees go past that piece of plexiglass or not over your face. That way you don't put weight up on your head and neck and just basically pile drive yourself into the ground. So hip rock and raise. And then if you can do that, when your legs come down, you open the legs. Everything comes back, hip rock and raise, and then leg opener. So now we have leg lifts or the dead bug march. So leg lifts, you have both your legs raised and lower. You try not to let your heels touch the ground. That keeps constant time under tension. If they do need to touch the ground because you're building the skill, let them come down soft and gentle. The thing about leg lifts, though, is it can make the lower back, the lumbar, the fulcrum for the weight of your legs, and it can cause injury. So if your lower back is hurting, I need you to do a dead bug march. That's all 4 appendages in the air. Drop one leg in the opposite arm, comes back, and then alternate. Tough on coordination, but better for your back and worth it to learn. So now we have the horizontal scissors and they alternate which leg's on top. And we're gonna try to do 100. I would recommend making a diamond and putting that right under your lower back for just a little bit of cushion on where that natural arch is, and try to look towards your toes so you lift your shoulders. I like to count military style, so we count 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, until we get to 1, 2, 3, 25. And that would be 100, because 25 times 4 is 100. It's okay to take rests, but persevere, and counting again gives you that goal to strive for. The goals you set are often the goals you get.
Okay.
Exercise number next is the cross crunch march. Your hands are here, but you're not pulling. So you're just pushing your fingers into your skull to support your neck. And then with your knees bent and feet on the ground, you lift one leg. Let's say it's your left. And then your right elbow would go towards your left. And then you alternate to the other side. So cross crunch march. Flutter kicks are next. My wife joined the Sea Cadets when she was a teenager because she was thinking about going into the Navy. And for punishment, they would always have them do flutter kicks. And I'm always reminded of that whenever they become arduous. But they're very good for building the lower abs and your leg muscles. It's a vertical up and down kick like you're in water. Hands in a diamond under your lower back helps. Look at your toes to lift your shoulders and do the military count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, just like we did on the scissors. Ultimate goal is to get 100. You may not get that today, but it's something to work for. In and out double crunch is next. You do a long extended position for your body. Heels up, shoulders up. Your elbows go towards your knees. They don't have to touch, but if they can, that's full range of motion. If your lower back hurts or if your legs are just killing you at this point in the game, put your heels down and let's alternate. One knee up with a crunch, opposite knee up with a crunch, and your heels can always stay on the ground. Otherwise, everything floats and we do the double crunch motion. Oblique V-ups are next. Oh, these things. So you're going to lay on one side. You'll be on your shoulder, and you have your feet go to about a 30-degree angle in front of your body, like lined up with your chin. And then you think, I've got to try to bring my elbow to my thigh. As you come up and you do elbow to thigh, there's a little bit of a turn in so that you're not completely sideways. And then everything opens back up. These are also called mermaids. When you do the oblique V-up, if it's too hard to have the legs straight, bend your knees and then have your elbow and thigh come together. If your hip hurts, put a pillow, or if you have access to a pad, right under your hip. We gotta do one round on one side, second minute on the other side. And now we get off of your back for a commando crunch. We'll return to a high plank and we'll draw one knee straight up the center line with your shin as close to the ground as you can. That way you don't pop your lower back up and break the form of the plank. So we want to be as level as we can. You'll return that foot and then go to the opposite leg. Again, if it hurts your wrists, then you can go to your forearms. It's a little tough to do a commando crunch from the forearms, so I would just hold the low plank from your toes or from your knees and use that as your building block to progress. I like high planks because they can help condition the mobility in the wrists and the durability in the wrists, and they're a good building block to also be able to do push-ups. So that's why I like to do a lot of high planks. So now we go to a low plank. So we're gonna do either forearms, and I recommend palms in so that you don't put all of your tension up here in your hands, but you try to keep it localized in the abdominal area. You can do that from your toes or your knees. Then we have the variation of doing a Spider-Man. So what you can do to build to that is a hip rock, where you go to one side and then the other, slow and controlled. If you feel like you want the full Spider-Man, hip rock, draw your knee up to your elbow. Return to the other side, draw your knee up to your elbow. It's hard to do, but it's a great challenge. Okay, my friends, that's your workout. So you should probably try to do this one 2 times a week. I would always take an off day or a couple off days. You mix in some other workouts in there too. The big thing is to be consistent, and if something's tough, think about this: quality over quantity. You don't have to do 1,000,000 reps. A minute's a long time. You do every second of the minute. That can be a little too intense. But as you get better and you progress, you'll see yourself be able to maintain your reps longer throughout the duration, or just be more confident with what you're doing. So bear that in mind. Everything's a process. Rome was not built in a day. Okay. Thank you again so much for watching. If you could do me a favor and click the thumbs up, leave a comment, and as always, subscribe to this channel. That way you'll be notified each and every time I upload a brand new video. Again, I'm Adam Pecoraro. This is Flexoraro Fitness, and I'll see you in the next workout.